Hello my lovelies, welcome back to Art a la Carte. Today I want to show you an art project that I tested out a month or so ago, which is this three-dimensional paper fox. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? This is made 100% out of just cardstock paper, cutting and gluing. Full disclaimer, I did not create this pattern. As much as I love creating art, my brain does not work like this. This is amazing. I purchased a pattern to create this fox on an Etsy shop. I'll put the link to that shop in the description box below. This is not sponsored. I saw the pattern, really wanted to try it out. It's actually because I wanted to do this project that I am making this video, because when I saw what the end product would look like, I couldn't understand how this worked, and I thought, is this something that I can even make? So I went to look online to see if there was any videos of people putting these together and found very few videos talking about this. So I'm making the video that I wish I would have seen when purchasing this to make sure this was a good project for me. For copyright reasons and respect to the original creator of this design, I'm not going to be showing the entire pattern or the entire creation process, but I'm going to show you what you need to know to decide if you want to or can do this project. So let's jump into it. So the first thing after purchasing the downloadable file, you receive it as a PDF, then you need to print out the pattern pieces. So the first thing I had to do was pick out my paper, which you want a nice thick cardstock. I got a 110, which is the thickest cardstock that I could find in this color. I think this should be okay, but as you can see, this is not your normal colors. So I went to my local Joann Fabrics and picked up this huge pack of cardstock, which has all sorts of different colors, and I really like this color for the fox. But because I'm testing this out for myself, I'm just gonna not use this color for the first time. I'm gonna choose a different color, so I chose this. Is an artsy fox. So I love this teal shade, and actually I think it'll be really pretty. So I chose this color for the fox body. I'm using a white and then a black and then this color here for the star. But you could use a lot of really pretty like metallic papers as long as they're thick and, you know, can stand the folding and pressures of erding or whatever. This also is your standard paper size, so it's 8.5 by 11 size, and again, nice and thick. So I printed this off on my Canon printer, and you need quite a few sheets. So typical orange part of the fox body, you need, I think, 6 pieces of that paper. You need 1 sheet of the black paper, 4 sheets of the white paper, and 4 sheets of your star paper. So 15 sheets in total that you will need. So as it prints off, you can kind of see it prints off this nice pattern. It gives you, you know, where to cut and where to fold, and a really good step-by-step instructions. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I purchased this kit and I just thought, you know, I'm making one so you guys can see, yes, I think you can do this. After printing everything out, step 2 is to cut out all of the pieces, which I think is probably going to be your monotonous, time-consuming portion. And I'm halfway through the blue pages. I have 1, 2, 3 and a half more blue pages, and then all the rest of the pages, and I'm 15 minutes in. So my technique for this is to cut the straight edges with scissors and then go back in with a blade and cut the little corners. There's little V's that you have to cut out, and it's just much easier to get in there with a blade instead of scissors. If I remember correctly, when I purchased this pattern, you can purchase the PDF file, or you can purchase an SVG file, so you can print this out and then use your Silhouette or Cricut cutting machine to cut it out, which I think would be a huge time saver. So if I mess this one up and have to do it again, though I didn't buy the SVG, I think you have to choose which one you want. So, right, it might be worth it to buy it again to get the SVG if I decide I want to make more of these. Depends on how cute. They're so adorable on the photos. 45 minutes later, and I've got all this cut out. I still have all of these to do. Plus this black one, which I don't know if you can see. It's printed on, like, it's so faint. It's gonna be a struggle to see that one. But I'll do this one next. Yay! So cutting out black pieces are not fun. I would suggest instead of doing black, doing a super dark brown so you can actually see the lines. I went back through and had to match these pieces up with the PDF file so that I could number them, and I made sure I numbered them on the side that the printing is on because I want that to be on the inside and make sure they fold the right way. But yeah, black was a bit challenging. After probably 4 hours total of cutting over 2 days, because I got blisters on my fingers from this, but what a lifesaver this is. All the cutting is done. So now we begin to prep the pieces. Before we can glue them, we have to score all of these lovely little score marks and get them ready to go. There's also some other pieces in here that have like this, that have this shape in here, and I have to double check, but I think I need to cut these out. So I will also miss that corner. Yeah, we'll be fine tuning all of these and getting them prepped. So any guesses how long this is gonna take me? I'm thinking another couple hours. I started working on the crimping and folding of all these edges, and I got through about half of my whites before I decided maybe this wasn't the best strategy, because each of the pieces that you get has a piece number and then has all the tags and all that. And so you begin building these pieces so they tell you what piece to get. But if you have them all curled up, it kind of is a little bit harder to go through them. Whereas if they're flat, like here, I can put all my lowered numbers. I can even, you know, put them in order. So I can put 8, here's 9, here's 5, here's 7. So I can put them in order, which makes it so much easier for me to find the pieces that I'm looking for right at the beginning. So I'm going to take each piece as I get ready to glue them together. I'm going to fold and crimp them. So these are my first 2 pieces. So I have piece number 1 and piece number 2. And then you want to find the side number that matches the tabs. And so here is tab 40 and tab 36, and here's a straight edge 36 and 40. So you're going to glue this one here, and then you have to bend this one back so you see you're getting this nice dimension there, bam, of the inside of the fox's ear. So remember, the print side is going to be hidden. It's going to be the back, and this side here is going to be what we see. So that's kind of fun. So it's like a gigantic jigsaw 3D puzzle, but they number the pieces for you. So I'm going to use some tacky craft glue, and my theory is the less the better. So if you put a big drizzle of glue on this piece, it's going to take a long time for it to dry. It's going to get really slippery. So I'm just going to put a little bit. What I'm going to do is take a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to squeeze out some glue. Not too much because I don't want it to get dry. And then I'm going to find my tabs. I'm just going to, you could use a toothpick or a popsicle stick or something if you don't want to use your fingers. But I'm just going to kind of smear it on those tabs. Just super carefully. Probably would be better because now I have a glue finger and I have to wipe glue boogers on things. Okay, so, and I just did the wrong tabs. I'm supposed to do 36 and 40, not 41. Okay, so, okay, mistake number 1. All right, so now let's put the glue on the right one. So I'm going to use this coffee stir stick. There we go, and put that there. And so my next mistake is I don't want these tabs here. So my fox is going to have a little blemish. So I just realized now I need to put the glue on this part, not on this part, so that I can put it behind. Okay, mistake number 2. All right, try it again. just like that. So if it wasn't for the goo from the glue, that would be a perfect piece. Okay, so now let's move on to piece number 3, which is going to be number 3, and it's going to be black. So I'm going to find those. I'll tell you, finding the pieces is tricky. So when you're cutting them out, if you put them in order, that could be really helpful. And don't lose a piece. Then you have to print the whole thing out. Okay, so here this is. Again, black is super hard because it's really hard to see the printing. So I think next time I would print this on like a dark gray paper, fold it, and then go over with like a marker or a little bit of paint and darken it in. Darken it in that way, because man, this is a challenge. All right, piece 3 is on, and I didn't think I made any mistakes. So yay! Moving on to the next step. I finished the first ear, and the only mistake other than the goo marks there is that this point is just a little off. So it should have been on this crease. Kind of like quilting. You want to get your corners matched up. I don't think you're going to notice it because it's going to be towards the back of the fox. But because that corner's off, then this one's a little bit off. So I think when I glued these, one of them was just folded a little bit off. And that's just because it's really hard to see the fold lines on black paper. Again, I think if I do this the second time, I'm going to do it on a lighter color, dark gray, so you can see the print marks. All right, well, let's move on. We are at day 3. So again, not full days, but it's coming together. This thing is going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is cool. All right, continuing on. Okay, well, that didn't take long to do something new. We're going to build his actual front leg. So we'll do the leg and then we'll attach the leg to the body. So I went ahead and pre-folded and marked all my black pieces so that I know where everything is. And this is the very tip of the paw, so I went ahead and folded that and then glued it shut. So highly recommend, if you're going to do this with black paper, that you do write those numbers in there, because yeah. Now I know eventually these are all going to be folded in, but I'm wondering if it's going to be easier to put this on first and then glue it, or what. So we're going to test this out. All right, definitely a little bit more time consuming just because it was such a small narrow spot, but here is the leg. And the last piece just covers up just kind of like the elbow, and then we're going to connect it to the body. So here's what I have so far for the body of the fox, and then it's just going to kind of look like this. It's on. It was a battle, but I won. So it's a little tricky, but she's solid. My suggestion for you is just to be patient with each corner. So make sure that each tab you glue, let it dry completely so that it sets. But on the flip side, you also need to make sure you have the angle right. So if it sets, then it's really hard to change your angle. So I would start with this piece here, because then you're halfway. And while this one's setting, you can kind of just judge on this one here. But This is the back paw, which probably gave me the hardest trouble. It wasn't bad, but I couldn't envision how these pieces were going to fit together. So trust the coding and be as precise as you can. So you can see I was off just a little bit on this piece when I glued it. So you can see it kind of comes over here and it kind of goes in a little bit, but it didn't cause too much trouble. And I don't think it'll even be hardly noticeable. Everything else fit together. This piece, fun to figure out because there's a lot going on in this one piece. So look at your guides and again, trust the codes. And as you can see, here is my finished fox. I love this one. I've actually done this one twice now. About 1.5. I'm in the process of doing my second fox. I did this one with the teal paper, and like I said before, you can choose any color combination that you want. So the one I'm working on now is a red fox with the white and black. I am modifying the black parts with a dark gray paper to get the markings, and then I'm just dyeing them with a Copic marker to make them black so that I can see them a lot easier, because that was a challenge, but really fun. So let me show you the back here really quick. Ugh, this thing is so huge. So it does have a spot in here where you can put in lights if you want to light things up, and then it has the hook here. I also made the little star that nestles right inside here when you're hanging it up, so that looks like the fox is holding the star, which is so cute. I love this. This pattern also came with a few smaller stars that you can hang up alongside. I haven't put those ones together yet. The fun thing is I've seen a few people take this fox design and have it hold other things like stuffed animals, or someone put a bag of Cheeto chips in it. That's really fun. So it can hold just about anything. And it's super lightweight too, so you wouldn't want to put something heavy or liquidy, but very, very cute. I think this would be such a fun decor for a nursery. I'm going to have a decor. I'm going to use it in my house to decor because I think it's fantastic. In the future, I'd love to make more of these and test out some other patterns. But right now I am swamped. Currently I am working on a miniature replica of the Alice in Wonderland dark ride from Disneyland. If you'd like to follow along with that journey, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'll be posting some videos about that project on Mondays, which I'm calling Miniature Mondays. So until Monday's video, God bless you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. And as always, keep being creative, being awesome to each other, and we'll see you in the next art video. Bye-bye. Maybe this video. Watch this one. This would be a cool one. What about this video? Don't forget to subscribe.